Welcome to Beyond Broth Summit, Nurturing a New World from Chaos to Goodness. I'm Grace Ventura, founder and creator of Beyond Broth. Joining us today is a delightful young woman who I recently just met through my daughter, Abigail Parker. And Abigail and I are going to be talking about let's talk about body image from the inside out. Love that title. Abigail, just a little bit more about you before we dive in. She's a former ballerina turned fitness coach and creator of the Embrace You movement. Love that. She lives her passion by helping people move with confidence and truly love themselves from the inside out. My kind of woman. Love what you're doing. Yeah, so I love this. First of all, welcome. And I'm so happy that you are here joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor.
Yeah, good. I immediately have inspiration with this topic, as I could totally relate. Like most humanity,
Yes.
I feel like is so body conscious, men, women, children of all ages. I think it starts really, really young. And I'm especially, I know as a ballet dancer and the incredible pressure that's put on a young woman, young girls, boys, to be a certain way and fit a certain image, and that ideal, that image of perfection, really.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your journey? Like, how did you arrive at this place?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. Just being given the opportunity to share my story and share this project that I'm very passionate about means the world to me. So thank you for creating that safe space. I would say that my journey started in 8th grade when I was slightly bigger and taller than the rest of the girls in my class. And we were all sitting on the bleachers in gym class. And I looked at the thighs of the girl next to me and I thought to myself, my thighs are big. I'm big. I think I was 12 or 13 when I first started going to the mirror in my mom's room. She had this full-length mirror on the back of her door. And so every day I would run to the mirror and look and see if I was big or small. Like, it was a very strange concept, but at the time I had also started dance classes, and the body comparison had started from a very young age. As I said, I was a bit bigger and taller than the rest of the girls. I think I just matured a lot faster. So it was, I just felt like I took up more space. And so in ballet, the aesthetic, as we know, is extremely skinny. I had the tall nailed down, and I got the tall part. And I was a good dancer. I had really great mentors, amazing teachers who really poured their hearts and souls into getting me to the point where I could audition for a professional company. So that was a dream come true when I joined American Repertory Ballet right out of high school. Wow. I joined the company. And I had little comments from my mentors through my high school years, like, oh my gosh, Abigail, you look like you've lost weight. And so I would always attach reward with losing weight. Like, if I get smaller, I'm going to make my teachers happy. And all I wanted to do was impress my mentors and make them proud of me. So I was like, oh, I was just constantly worried about what I was eating, but it really wasn't until I joined the professional company, and my artistic director pulled me aside and said, so you can either get a boob job or you can lose at least 15 pounds. You've gotten into this company because you have a pretty face and you're tall and you have good technique, but you're not skinny enough for us. So I was 17 years old when I got told that. And it was really, it broke my heart into a million pieces. One, because I immediately felt like I was less worthy than the other girls because they had somehow passed this standard that I literally and figuratively felt like the elephant in the room. And I just didn't know. It was so much to process emotionally. And so I just didn't tell anyone that I was going through this. And I just started restricting what I ate. So I think I looked up, how to lose weight or how to lose weight as fast as possible. And the internet has a ton of extremely dangerous articles on how exactly, there are legitimately articles, how to be anorexic, how to restrict your calories, tips and tricks to, chew gum or drink water or just like deny yourself food. So within 3 months, I had lost probably 17 or 20 pounds. I was severely underweight. All of my teachers were saying that I looked amazing, but my peers were like, you look scary. Like, what, you look like a lollipop with your head on top of a stick. It was just terrible. So I was anorexic for the first half, I'd say, of my dance career. And then when eventually I collapsed and got taken to the hospital, and they said, you should really start eating again, because if you don't, you're going to have severe health issues. I had lost my period for over a year. And so I started eating again, and it seemed like when I started eating, I couldn't stop eating. So then I switched to bulimia. So what I think a lot of people don't understand about an eating disorder is that you're never fully recovered from it. So even to this day, I still have, I wouldn't say I'm not bulimic or anorexic, but I still every single day think about food. I think more than the average person, because it is not necessarily like, oh, she's under eating or she's overeating. It's the 24/7 mental battle of, what am I going to eat? When am I going to eat it? Is it going to be too much? Is it going to be too little? How is this going to affect me? How do I monitor my cravings, my emotional? There's just so much that goes into our relationship with food. But anyway, so I was bulimic for a long time, and it wasn't until I moved to Portland in 2015 that I stopped throwing up. I would make I'd write out little promises to myself, like, on this date, I will stop. And then I'd see how long I could go without doing it again. And gradually those gaps got bigger and bigger. And then eventually I just stopped doing it altogether. But I never dealt with the emotional trauma from all of that. And I think that even when I became a fitness instructor, I was constantly worried about food and trying to adjust to a new body type. That was also extremely hard, like having hips and a butt and getting like a curvier frame was another huge adjustment, and understanding that this is you in a womanly body, and that's okay. You look normal, and normal is not fat. That was a huge process to try to get through. And so about a year ago, I wrote down on a piece of paper, you are worthy, embrace you. And I thought if I just put that in my kitchen and I looked at it every single day, that eventually I'd start to believe it. And so I posted it on social media, and a bunch of people were like, what is this embrace you? And I didn't even know, I had no plans for it. It was just a piece of paper in my kitchen. I didn't know what to tell anyone. I was like, it's just in my kitchen. And then I had a workout with all these women, and we wrote down positive affirmations on pieces of paper and just shared our stories and our struggles with our body image. And after that, it just became the Embrace You movement. And then one thing led to another, and then we started doing merch. And then about 3 months ago, we started the Instagram, and we've had people wearing our merch and getting our stickers all over the country, and it's been insane. It's really been. I think that the Embrace You message has struck a chord in so many people's hearts that, in a society that asks you to look like Kylie Jenner, the Embrace You movement says, no, you're perfect just the way you are. Take care of your heart and your mind and your body, work out, do all the things, but you don't need to squeeze yourself into what the world thinks is beautiful. You're enough just the way you are.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. It's a beautiful movement message to be shared out there. There are a couple of things I was thinking about as you were speaking. How, and as far as the way that the shift happens from a place of the judgment and not feeling like you're good enough, and it's not really just it's understanding what happened to that little one who she was so happy in dancing and doing that, and having that experience, and then being told that you're not okay. So if you're not okay this way, or you're not okay that way, how do you navigate to come to a balanced place where you're not believing those stories? How do you do that?
I think it's an everyday battle. I don't think it ever gets to a place where you are 100% healed. I'm a big believer in what you fill your mind with is what's going to come out. And so if you are very careful what voices you listen to, what people you surround yourself with, what kind of material you're absorbing, that's going to help you on your road to recovery. But spending hours scrolling, looking at Instagram models or other standards of beauty ultimately is going to plant little seeds in your brain of, oh, how do I measure up to this? And I also think that women in particular are conditioned from a young age that we have to act and look and be a certain way to be accepted by society, and men too. But I think women have it a little bit more severely on the appearance aspect, because we are the objects to be looked at in many ways.
We are beautiful. Come on. We're beautiful.
Yes, we are.
Women are beautiful. Men know it. Women know it.
Yes. So that's why I think starting at a young age for little girls of telling them to embrace themselves, that conditioning should start really young. And if I'm ever a mom one day, I think that's going to be one of the biggest things that I tell my daughter is just, you are, instead of focusing so much on how she looks, and obviously I will teach her all the ways to groom and present herself so that she will not be without any tool, right? But the focus is going to be, what is your inner beauty? What is your heart? How do you show up for your friends? How do you love the people around you? How do you cultivate a spirit of peace in a world that is going to be constantly trying to pull you into its chaos? How are you going to stand firm against that? So I think it's a daily, okay, what am I going to focus on today? What am I going to fill my mind up with today? How am I taking care of me today?
Awesome. Those are wonderful things for your daughter to receive. Or son.
Or son, yes. Either or.
Seriously. I've had both. So they're all great. The other thing I was thinking about was when you were talking about identifying with the body, how you actually changed a whole persona, um, to be in that other body form image of what you think that means,
Mm-hmm.
how it's ID'd. This means you're this character or this, it's like archetypal. It's very
Yep.
archetypal in the
Yep.
body. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's trying to, I think, see what the mainstream media is promoting as beautiful, and then you try to fit yourself into that mold. And in the dance world, it was very much, you know, here are the dancers who are the creme de la creme. They are the best in the world. How do you measure up physically next to these people?
Mhm.
Uh, which is why I'm so thankful that we have had some role models like Misty Copeland and like other women who really started breaking down some of those barriers to what was accepted in body types in the dance world.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the dance world has changed dramatically for sure over the years, like everything. It
Mm-hmm.
got to keep up. What else would you like to share about, this idea about our body image and how we can live from the inside out?
Um, I'm a huge advocate for mental health. I think that my parents' generation and generations before, I call them "it's okay, I'm fine" generation. Uh, just basically any time that you are asked about how you're feeling or how you're doing, it is considered polite or perhaps appropriate response is like, everything's fine, I'm fine, everything's okay, yeah, got it together. And so coming from that and going through therapy and understanding the importance of digging into your past and digging through your emotions so that you can show up better for the people around you, or even understanding triggers. I had no idea what that meant, and then a couple experiences like, like, why am I getting so upset over this particular thing? Oh, because it's reminding me of this other thing that happened. That you All of these connections that sometimes we're not aware of. And so I would say, though I am a fitness trainer and taking care of your physical health is extremely important, it's almost more important to be checking in with yourself, with your mental health. And I know therapy can be scary, and it doesn't seem like a very fun activity to go and sort through and face all your demons, but it's been one of the most rewarding things I've ever done. So, huge advocate for that.
Yeah. I mean, body image, talk about that's, um, if when you go and do those deep dives, um, there's the opportunity to reflect how you're judging, where those judgments are coming from, and then there's an opportunity for shift. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think you could do one without the other, actually.
Absolutely.
No
Yeah.
way. Do you have any tools or a tool that you can share with us here, with the audience, that could help in that facilitating that experience? Even, a little bit of a practice, right?
Yeah. One of my dear friends recommended something called mirror work, which I found super helpful. You basically go and stand in front of a mirror in whatever level of dress or undress you feel comfortable with, and you just start naming things that you like about yourself or things
Mhm.
that you appreciate about your body. And instead of, you know, looking at your legs or your stomach or whatever and wishing for certain things to be different, but instead like thanking your body, like, thank you legs for carrying me every day. I'm so glad. I love how my eyes sparkle. I love like this aspect of my hair. Just going down this list, and what you'll find is after a few minutes of this mirror talk is that your view of yourself really shifts. It goes from this dissection into a celebration of what you have. And I would say that that's a really helpful tool to just getting your mind right with your relationship with your body image. There's so many more tools, but I found that one to be super helpful.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. Everybody can go and do that when we're all done.
Yes.
If you have that available to you. And is there something, well, because, you know, we don't want everyone to leave right now. Is there something, even if it's a little, some exercise that you can offer now that people could do?
I would say that right now you could take a moment, and if you have anything to write down or something that you can just think about, a phrase in your mind, a mantra of I am worthy, or I am strong, I am beautiful, I am confident, I see the best in people, I have a strong purpose for my life. Anything that you can repeat to yourself and say it several times over. Another one of my dear friends, Jenny, she's a bodybuilder, and every single day she says, I am strong, I am worthy, I am confident, I am beautiful. And she'll just repeat that over and over to instill those ideas in her. So I would say that would be an exercise that anyone could do anytime, anywhere, no mirror required, just you. And yeah.
How about right now?
Yeah, right now I would say
No, I mean,
my
why don't
favorite.
we have everyone do it right now?
Okay.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah? Is that,
That'd
why not? No
be,
time like the present.
that'd be great. Let's do
Okay.
Do you have one to share?
I am loved
Yeah.
and beyond. I am love and beyond.
Yes. I love that.
And even when I say it, you know, it's like I feel, especially and beyond. I know that has nothing to do with Beyond Broth, however. I was not even thinking of that.
No worries. It's just
That was just really funny. I'm
yeah,
making
natural.
myself laugh, that's all. So when I say it, there's a feeling that it just brings me right into my heart. You know, it's this, all of that. And it just, it's my happy place.
I love it. Yeah. I love
Yeah.
that. Totally.
What's
Yeah.
yours?
It changes every day. But I think that today's statement would be I am in pursuit of peace. That's mine for today.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm in pursuit of peace.
Beautiful.
And that makes me I think that sometimes you can get really stuck into a trap of either overthinking or just allowing your emotions to take you on a spiral. And so I've found a lot of joy from just settling my spirit and being more invested in the here and now instead of obsessing about what's going to come.
No time like now. No time
Yes.
like now. Yeah. Presence. I mean, it's so important.
Yes, it is.
And the breath, you know, I don't know anything better than the breath.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Even for mine, you know, in being in that space, it's what brings me in. It's what brings me here.
I love it. Yeah,
Yeah.
very grounding.
Hmm.
Very grounding. The
Yeah.
breath. Very grounding. Yes.
And I love being on the earth, and in nature. And I don't know, I think about body image. It's so interesting. I used to say, not used to, this is not too far from being present, actually.
Got it. Yeah.
That I would look in the mirror, and what I saw in the mirror was not what I felt inside. Like, I felt so good. And I would look in the mirror and I'd be like, huh, that doesn't match this, because I had an image of what this actually looks like,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really a trapping that we get this image, um, and it's everywhere. It really is everywhere.
Yeah.
Um, so presence is where it's at, because
Mm-hmm.
when you're just being present, it's not taking you into, what it should be, because that's not now.
Absolutely. Accepting what it is in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not judging it too harshly.
Hmm. Not judging it. Yeah. Oh, there's so much about body image. Um, yeah. I mean, I'm like perusing my years from when I was young and a teen, and even now as I get older,
Mm-hmm.
and the different things that show up with what my body, what I want it to be, and it's still not where I want it to be. It's like, wow, what a waste of energy. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. What a
Yeah.
waste of energy. It's so I don't know, it takes away from the quality of life, of my life, when I go there.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
totally identify. Yeah. It's definitely can't get too caught up in your head beyond, just doing what you can to take care of yourself. And, if you do have certain fitness goals, obviously it's great to chase after and pursue those, but never at the sacrifice. You should never have to sacrifice your self-love or your inner peace to squeeze in one more mile, because you're trying to cancel out the piece of bread you ate and just all of the really toxic eating behaviors from diet culture that we see, just invading and seeping into people's minds of what is and what I should eat, or how I should work out, or how often I should work out, or I can't eat this, or I can't drink that. And it's a huge, huge waste of energy. I like how you said that. It's just like, you got to let it go at some point. There's only so much that you can do.
So, I mean, this is such a huge topic, because first, I'm just going to go into this one because there are so many places we can go. But let's talk about food. Let's talk about, is that something you would like to share? And my
Yeah.
question specifically is, um, when it comes to body image and the way that you perceive your body, like if it's not good enough, it's too fat, it's too thin, it's too this, it's too that. It's basically disconnecting from your love, right? It's a disconnection that
Yeah.
happens. And in that disconnection, that's when the distorted eating patterns come in. It's
Mhm.
when you've left and you're not listening and you're not honoring this body, and it feeds into the whole body image.
Mhm.
It's like it totally takes you down that rabbit hole. So
Mhm.
to find a place of balance, I guess, or, is there something that you do, a practice, when you are in that space of almost disconnect, how you bring yourself back, or how, you talk about affirmations as one thing. And I'm wondering if there's anything else that you work with, um, just to connect it, to really feel the connect, because you could say something, and I know this, I could say I am blah, blah, blah. But if I don't feel that, and I know the fake it till you make it, because I've done that, and with affirmations, and I really found that it was important that I embodied it, that it really was a full-on embodied experience. And how do you, as a dancer, I mean, as I know for me as a dancer, I love doing ecstatic dance. I love going in. That's my deep dive, is I'll go in and breathe and feel the earth and, you know, embody that beauty that is then from the inside out. It's from here that I experience it. How do you
Yeah.
do that?
Food has always been super complicated for me. When I was a child, my mom would hide desserts or hide the chocolate.
Yeah.
And it was always, so that would always create for me this system of like, like, I wonder what that is that she's hiding. And it would actually make me crave it 10 times more because it was forbidden. And so we always ate super, super healthy. We never ate out. We never ate fast food, but it was always that mindset of like certain foods are bad and then certain foods are good. So there really was no, and then in ballet, it got even more extreme. So I never ate burgers. Like I would never allow myself to eat fast food or anything that was not good per se, but when I would binge, I mean, it would just be on like a jar of peanut butter and I'd finish the entire jar.
Right.
It was just uncontrollable. So now I would say the biggest tool, and I liked what you talked about with feeling, is just intuitive eating and just really listening. Like, am I hungry right now? Your body is so smart. Your body knows what you need. There are times I'm like, wow, I just really need some protein right now. I can actually like feel that I just need that sustenance of this particular form, or I just need a crisp apple right now. I just need, it's when you really tune it in and you can separate those addictive eating behaviors. And
There you are.
yeah, sorry, I lost your thought. And you can take those addictive eating behaviors and you can separate it from what actually works. I'd say the more that you can just get in tune with your body and get in tune with how you're actually feeling and checking in with yourself before you eat. Am I sad? Am I angry? Like, why am I going to the cupboard right now? Why am I opening up the refrigerator? So those would be my best food practices, and allowing yourself to have treats without feeling guilty about it.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's just so important that we ask that question. Why am I going there right now? Am I hungry? Why am I going there? It could be on the refrigerator. There's your sign.
Yeah, totally. Why are you here?
Why are you here? I think that's new merch.
Why are you here?
That's new merchandise for you. Why are you here?
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
And it's a very profound question too. So I used to ask that question. Why am I here? What's my purpose? Why am I on the planet? What am I doing? So it could be on the refrigerator. I think that's great.
I love that. Yeah.
Well, what else would you like to share here?
I mean, there's so much, but I guess if I could distill it down to the most important thing, I think, particularly for women, is just you are worth the time that it's going to take to figure out who you really are, and you shouldn't settle for anyone who doesn't recognize that journey, and don't settle for a lesser version of who you could be because you were held back by fear of discovering who you really are. Don't be afraid to go into uncharted waters, start your business, go to therapy, all of the scary things in life. These are the things that are going to make you, they're going to reveal to you who you really are, and it's only going to make you, I always love how pressure forms diamonds, pressure forms people. So pressure is uncomfortable, but don't run away from it. It's going to make you the best version of who you can be so you can serve and help more people. So that's what the only other thing I'd like to add.
Beautiful. I love it. Well, Abigail, I've really enjoyed this time here with you, and on your bio and all the information we're putting out there, people will see what you are offering and all your contact information. So that part's all taken care of.
Awesome.
And I'm really grateful I think you're probably the youngest person on here, and I love it. I love it because you're helping to usher this in and creating this new world. We're all doing this together. And I love your representation of it. I think it's just such a gift. You're really sharing a beautiful gift.
Well,
And thank you for sharing it with us.
thank you for having me. I'm humbled, and thank you for your kindness and your words. I really, really have treasured this time and space. So thank you.
Yay, that's great. I'm happy to hear. All right, and thank you all for being here with us, and wishing you a blessed day, and stay well out there. Much love.